Hey guys, so this is just a super quick video about this project that I worked on a little while ago. This was for a film project. I won't go into it too much, but it's just a time limited film project. We had 48 hours, we had restrictions on it and everything, but the point is I was doing the music for the film, and one of the sort of directions they wanted to take was for the credits scene at the end to have like an upbeat hip hop kind of track. Reason for that was inspired by a previous winner of the same competition, so they kind of wanted to take a few cues from that, obviously with different restrictions, so it wasn't identical, but this was one thing that was really easy to be like, that was successful, so let's do that again. And so the only real direction for this going into it was an upbeat hip hop kind of thing. So I've kind of prepared a little bit to explain the thought process here. This, even though it's all split up in different colors, is the original sample that I took. However, it is at the wrong speed, so here's the actual. Original one, and then this is at a slower speed. And then the reason for this color coding is basically there's a chord change in the middle of the sample, and you can obviously see it splits from red to blue. And what I wanted to do was chop up each half of the sample and then keep the chord change where it is. So everything on this side will stay on this side, everything on this side will stay on this side, but within each side they'll move around and make up, you know, a more interesting sample chop. But what I wanted to be able to do was move them around in a like matching way. So say for example I wanted the second and third ones to swap, I would do that in both and then repeat it on the other side, and then it would be the same transformation done on both sides, so that you have this sort of recognizable pattern on this sample chop. Makes it very easy to follow, easy to listen to. It's only going to be heard for 30-40 seconds. Bearing that in mind, and I just recreated these so it's not actually the same colors, but this is the actual sample chop that I used, this bit here. And I did label them with numbers. What I wanted to do was keep this 2B section as a foundational point to come back to, sort of, so it's a bit that can be known and repeated and expected, and it's identical, but with different context around it. This is one thing I did intentionally, was to ensure that this stayed in the same place, and then they're both followed by a slightly longer featural something that's moving around, either with this chord or this sliding vocal line. So I'm not going to analyze everything like that, but the point, that's just one example. But I created this sort of template, and then the reason why I color coded and labeled everything to make it really easy to do this next step was to repeat the same transformation on the second half. So all the letters you see are the same, and obviously it's blue, not red, but the like relative colors are the same. I'm probably explaining this too much. It's not really that complicated of an idea, but the point is, here's the sample I came up with, and you can hear it with just some drums that I threw together from loops just to sort of experiment with. Here it is. So that's the loop. Now, moving on. Here is what I sort of did with it. I didn't like the slow tempo. Even though I slowed it down from the original, I wanted to bring it back up. I exported out just this track from this with the sample in it, dragged it in, obviously increased the tempo, and then this is what we had. So obviously it's the same thing, faster. All the percussion that you can hear in there is out of the initial sample, it's just little bits, but because it's been chopped up and it's no longer just on the downbeats, it makes it a bit more like noticeable in your ears. So, but it's not really noticeable once you bring in other elements. And in the film, the bit that's used only starts from about here. So it's no big deal. And then it comes in, and obviously you can hear here. It's very simple, like this. Really, it's a very basic, like it's just a simple hip hop beat. What did I use for it? Yeah, so I just used samples for this. I love this. I don't even know how you say that. Baker Drillers drum pack that I have. I use it all the time. Oops. Yeah, but I love the hi-hats and the snares especially. I like this bit. This is a slightly more unique thing. This like slowing down roll. And I think in the context it sounds really cool. I think that sounds really good. 808, simple. It's just a Vital preset that I made. So simple. Sine wave and a sample. So it's basically a sample with a little bit of extra low end. Very simple. And then I have this ARP thing. I just kind of felt like it needed a little bit extra. I'm not too sure about whether this was the right thing, but obviously it's done now. But it's a cool sound. It's just I'm not sure it fits in super well, but it's just a like in between a sine and it's like a soft square wave kind of thing. The phaser is what really gives it its character. I feel like that sort of twangy, you know, you can hear it, that thing. I love those little like climbs. Maybe not this one, but that first one. I think it sounds good. Yeah, not super sure about the ARP, whether it was the right choice, but it fits in well enough. Anyway, it just carries on like that. Very simple arrangement, very simple everything, really. But I think the sample job is pretty cool. The drums are basic, and that 808 is like, I didn't even show you the pattern. It's literally just... I don't even know. It's just like something. It's almost a bit random, to be honest. So yeah, there's not really too much more on this one. Hopefully you maybe found something useful out of this, potentially. But yeah, that's really it. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.